Alright, so again, yesterday, okay, looking at A, I gave you a number inside these parentheses. Alright, so you had g of 10, and so what I'm asking you here is to evaluate this function g of x when x equals 10. So all we had to do yesterday was we had to take that number right there and plug it in place of x. Easy breezy. We plugged in that number for x and we got a y value. Okay, so the first four are the exact same as yesterday. No big deal. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to take that 10 and I'm going to plug it in place of x in the function g of x. Alright, so let's rewrite this function, negative 3x plus 1, but again, instead of writing an x, I'm writing that number right there. So negative 3 times 10 plus 1. So all I did was I took my function, negative 3x plus 1, and I plugged in the 10. Why am I doing that? Because what changed from there to there? That x became a 10. So I'm telling you that the x is equal to 10. So then your function, you need to take that 10 and plug it in place of x, which I did there. Okay, so now it's easy math. Negative 3 times 10 is a negative 30 plus 1. So then g of 10 equals negative 29. And again, what we got is we got a point. We got an x value and we got a y value. So I told you that the x is 10. And we've got the output. We got negative 29 for our y value. So our coordinate, our ordered pair, is 10, negative 29. So again, nothing new. We did this yesterday. All you're doing is you're taking your number inside your parentheses and plugging it in place of x. Okay, so we're going to do C the exact same way. I'm going to evaluate this function, h of negative 2, and then I'm going to evaluate this function, f at 1, and then I'm going to add those two numbers together. It's no big deal. It's not hard. So Damien, you there?
Yeah.
All right, Damien. Is your camera on? 'Cause I don't see you. Hold on. Alright, there you go. Alright, Damien, help me out. I want to evaluate h of negative 2. So here's my h of x function. 12 divided by x. But now, that I'm not writing an x there, Damien. What number am I writing? Alright, so let's write 12 over negative 2. You with me, Damien? Okay, so Damien, what's 12 divided by a negative 2?
Negative 6.
So h of negative 2 equals negative 6. So that equals h of negative 2. I agree. Good job, Damien. Okay, so now let's do this one. Let's do f of 1. So my f of x function is x squared plus 7. But again, I'm not writing an x. Now you're writing what number, Damien? So f of 1 equals, tell me what to write.
1 squared plus 7.
Fantastic. Okay, and I put parentheses around that 1. You don't really need them, okay, but I want you to get in the habit of doing that, because if it is a negative, it makes a huge difference. Alright, so you got it set up, Damien. So now, what's 1 squared?
1 squared.
And then plus 7?
That's 8.
Okay, so f of 1 equals 8. So now you got one more step. What's a negative 6 plus 8?
0.
Easy breezy. Nothing new. Nothing new. Good job, Damien. Heidi, you there? Howdy, is your camera on? Because I can't see you. Okay. Howdy, let's try let's try D. Okay, so we're going to evaluate J at when x equals 7, and then we're going to multiply that number by 4. Alright, so that means a whole lot, but it's easy. So J of 7. So the J of x function is 2x plus 7. So again, Heidi, instead of writing x, what number should I write? 7. Okay, so let's rewrite that function. J of 7 equals, now tell me what to write, Heidi. 2. No, I'm not writing x. You told me what am I writing? Yeah, so I'm plugging in 7 in place of x. So 2 times 7, not x, 2 times 7 plus. Perfect. Okay, so now, what's 2 times 7? 14, and then I'm going to add 9 to that. Okay, so now, this J of 7 equals 23. And then you still got this 4 outside the parentheses. So what that's telling you is what's 4 times 23? So Heidi, what's 4 times 23? Easy breezy. Easy breezy. Nothing new. Yes, Suhani. Oh, okay. Nothing new. Okay, E and F, guys, I got a lot of y'all asking me about this yesterday. Nothing changes. All I'm asking you to do is plug in that variable. So instead of it being g of x, it's now x is c. So instead of this being a negative 3x plus 1, this will be a negative 3c plus 1. I can give you a number, I can give you a variable. It doesn't matter. Just plug it in place of x. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Alright, don't make it harder than it is, guys. So that's all review from yesterday. That's nothing new. Okay, but now look at G, H, and I. That is new. Okay, so let's look at the difference between A and G. For A, the number is inside your parentheses. Right? So this is telling me this is the x value. This is the x value. So x equals 10. Look at G. This says that G of x equals 16. That 16 is not in the parentheses no more. This is telling you that the whole thing, the whole function G of x equals 16. Okay, well, going back to yesterday, I told you that f of x, or g of x, or h of x, whatever, is equal to y. So what I'm telling you right now is y equals 16. The coordinate for g of x, or y, equals 16. Now I want you to work backwards and find x. So instead of plugging this number in place of x, I'm going to plug this number in place of g of x. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this function down here. So g of x equals negative 3x plus 1. All I did was write that function right there. Okay? All I did was copy it down here. Okay, so now looking at my problem, I said g of x equals 16. So right here I see g of x. So instead of writing g of x, I'm going to write that number right there. So I'm replacing that whole piece, g of x, with 16. So now my new equation should look like this. 16 equals negative 3x plus 1. I didn't tell you an x value. I told you a g of x value. So plug that in place of there. Don't write g of x, write that number. 16 equals negative 3x plus 1. Oh, guess what? Now we're solving equations. Now we're solving equations. Not hard. Cameron, you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, Cameron. What's the first step to solve for that x?
You said anything that's kind of like you did.
What's the first step to solve for x in that equation?
You have to.
So you want to isolate for the variable, right, Cameron? So I want to isolate for this negative 3x plus 1. So I need to get rid of everything else.
Okay, so.
So what's your first step?
To add 3.
Now look at my finger, bud. I'm crossing that out. Don't touch that yet. Get rid of everything else. What else do you see? You see that plus 1 there, Cameron?
Okay, yes, it was still like.
Okay, that's the first thing I need to get rid of. So I need to get rid of the plus 1. So I'm going to do inverse operation. What's the inverse of plus 1, Cameron? Exactly. So we're going to subtract 1 on both sides. 16 minus 1 is 15. That equals negative 3 times x. The last step, Cameron, is always to divide by the coefficient. You remember what the coefficient is?
Yes, you want to divide by 3.
Not 3, but
Negative 3.
perfect. So divide both sides by negative 3. And you get x equals negative 5. Okay, so now Cameron, talk to me. We have a point, right? We have an x value, we have a y value, just like we had up here. The only difference is I gave you the y, you found the x. Up here, what we were doing yesterday, I gave you the x, you found the y. Okay, so now help me out, Cameron. What is the point that we just found? So my problem says find x if g of x equals 16. So we found that x equals negative 5. So what's the x value of my point, Cameron?
Negative 5.
Perfect. And then the y value is what?
Oh, 16.
Yeah. So all I did was I gave you the y value, asked you to find the x. Yesterday, I gave you the x, asked you to find the y. So it's the reverse. Ain't nothing but a chicken wing. Don't make it harder than it is, guys. Kaya, you there? She just left. Okay, Suwani, you there? Alright, Suwani, help me out with I. Okay, f of x equals 23. So let's go back up. Let's copy down the f of x function, which is x squared plus 7. So we're going to copy that down here. F of x equals x squared plus 7. Okay, now tell me what to write, Suwani. Where do I plug in that 23? Okay, so tell me what I should be writing. Okay, x squared plus 7, absolutely. Good job. All right, now I want to solve for x, Suwani. So I'm going to isolate for that variable. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get rid of that plus 7. What do I do? Fantastic. What's 23 minus 7? So 16 equals x squared. Suwani, do you know how to get rid of that squared? Fantastic. Take the square root of both sides. So what the square root is what number times itself gives me 16? 4, absolutely. So x equals 4. Great job, Suhani. So now what is my point? Awesome. Great job. So again, guys, this is new. This is new. I'm giving you your y, asking you to find the x. Yesterday, I gave you the x and asked you to find the y. So that is new. Okay, again, this is due tomorrow at 11:59. This is an assignment. You will have to upload a picture of your work. It's not something you write on directly in Schoology. You'll have to upload it. Okay, the next thing in that folder is what we're going to talk about right now. So if you want to go ahead and open up that slideshow.